Okay, today's date is November 4th, 2016, and we're going to learn how to complete the square. And this is a process that we use to make a perfect square out of a trinomial. So, example 1. Okay, in example 1, we're going to have an a value of 1. We're going to set it equal to 0. So notice my a value is 1. We want to turn this into a perfect square. Well, it's obviously not a perfect square right now. So to make it a perfect square, first step that we're going to do is we're going to move the constant to the right side of the equation. Right now, this is a quadratic equation in standard form. So we're in standard form right now. And that's kind of where we want to begin when we do this process. We want to begin in standard form. So let's move the constant to the other side. So now we want to make a perfect square, so we're going to leave that blank. So we want to make this into a perfect square. So to do that, we take the b value, okay, whatever the b value is, we divide it by 2, and then we square it. Okay, so here's our b value. Our b value is -2. We're going to divide it by 2, and then we're going to square that answer. So that's going to give us -1. -1 squared is 1. So this number right here is going to make us a perfect square on the left side. So we're going to take this number, we're going to add it on the left, and we're going to add it on the right. So we get x squared minus 2x plus 1 equals 16. Now this is a perfect square, so we can go ahead and factor this. This is going to factor to x minus 1 squared. See the perfect square? And then I'm going to go ahead and move the 16 back over to the other side. So I'm going to subtract the 16 on the right and subtract it on the left. And look what we have. We have our quadratic equation in vertex form. Vertex form, where our vertex is 1, -16. And our a value is still 1. So there's no vertical stretch or compression going on. Okay, let's look at another example. Example 2. Okay, this time we're going to have an a value that is not equal to 1. So let's see. Let's use an a value of 2. Okay, so here the a value does not equal 1. So there's an additional step that we need to do here. So first thing we want to do is we want to make sure we're in standard form. Remember that standard form is basically ax squared plus bx plus c. Okay, and remember that vertex form is going to be a times x minus h squared plus k. There's our parameter changes right there. So here we're not quite in standard form. We want to move that 2 over here. So we'll cancel it on the right. So we're going to have 2x squared plus 8x minus 5. All right, so here we are. We're in standard form. So our first step, move that constant over on the right side. So we get, leave a blank here because we want to make a perfect square. All right, now here's where our new step comes in. Our new step is right here. We want to factor out the a value on the left side. Okay, so if I factor out the a value, I'm factoring out a 2. So that leaves me with x squared plus 4x. And then again, we're going to make a perfect square here, equals 5. Now, we complete the square, so we're going to go back up here to this process we did right here to make a perfect square. We want to know what this number needs to be so that this is going to be a perfect square. So, again, we take the b value, divide it by 2, and we square it. And that's going to be 4 divided by 2 is 2, 2 squared is 4. So we're going to add 4 here, and we're going to add not 4. This is a tricky part, so pay attention. Since we factored a 2 out, we got to multiply these two together. 2 times 4, so we're going to add 8 on the right side. When you factor out something other than a 1, you have to multiply it back in to find out what you're going to add over here on the right side. So we have 2. Now this is a perfect square. If you factor this, you get x plus 2 squared equals 13. Then we'll go ahead and move the 13 over here. And now we're in vertex form. And your vertex is -2, -13. And your a value is 2, which means we have a vertical stretch. Okay? All right. So we'll see you guys in class on Monday. Hope you're having a great weekend.